Hi and welcome to the second video. In this one we're constructing the fabric into a gown. There will be a third video which will be the fastenings of elastic and velcro and the ties and also the bias binding, but this one we're constructing it. And in true Blue Peter style, here's one I made earlier. This has got to the same stage as we will get to at the end of today's one, but I thought you might like to see what it is that we are making. So here it is, all joined into one with massive back pieces. So bear in mind we haven't got elastic in the cut. Oh no, I did, I found some elastic to go there, but we're waiting for the other thing. So there's the elasticated sleeve on that side. Here's an elasticated sleeve on that side. We then have the back pieces, and one will have the small piece of velcro eventually to hold it there, and the other one that side, and then it will tie at the waist. So this is the garment that we will be making over the course of these 3 videos. Yes. So here is my front piece, and I've got 2 of the sleeve extensions, and right sides to right sides it is just lining up like that. Shall put a pin there, and the same with the other side. So I shall sew this and then come back to you and show you what it looks like sewn. This one goes here. So here it is, I've sewn them on. It feels a bit like you're making something for a giant here. It's really huge, but this is the size of it. This is what it looks like. I find it easier to line up the top together of the 2. You may find, as here, it depends on the triangles you cut out, but they may not be, it may not quite match up here. That's going to be absolutely fine, but if you match it up from the top, it's going to make life easier in a minute. I've sewn the seams and then finished them by zigzagging, but feel free to do French seams or any other way of finishing the seams off that you like to use. This is one of the back pieces. We're going to do exactly the same thing. Take the fabric right sides to right sides, match up at the top and sew along there, and I shall do it to both the back pieces and show you what that looks like. So here's one of my back pieces with the arm attached. We're now going to sew the shoulder seams. I find it easier to line up from the bit of the neck here and go down to the end there. So here's my neck of my front piece with the 2 arms on it. Check that it's a front piece. So we send that out on top, and then I line up the corner of the neck there. I'll start pinning it like that. So you're going to sew all the way along this line here, over the seam where the sleeve extension went on, and sew right down to the end here, and then do the same with the other shoulder seam on the front to the other piece of back which I've got here, but I'm not going to pin that until I've sewn this one. So here I've done the side seams and laid it all out flat on the floor. Just to talk you through it. Oh no, hang on, you're getting an aerial shot now. Thank you, Danica. Here's the front piece that's the centre front line. You can see the neck there, you can see the sleeves here, and these are the 2 back pieces. They particularly wanted an overlap at the back, so each one is quite long, like that. So I've just put it up like that so that we can see. It is, you can really see now how much fabric it takes. This one was a whole single duvet, the front and the back, to make this like this. Now the next thing that we are going to do is the side seam and the underarm. So which side shall I pick? This side first. So I'm going to fold this over the top so that the shoulder seam is there. Now I find it easier to line up from our right angle that we cut for the armpit here, line that up first, because then we know we're in the right place. So then we can pin from here down to the end of the sleeve here, and also pin down the side to the bottom here, like that. So I'm going to be sewing, can you see my hand? The whole of that in one go, round there like that. Now, this is possibly a good point to say, I've adapted this from a pattern that I got from the Makery, which is, she put a free scrubs pattern up, and do feel free to look at her. She's got a Facebook page, I think, and she sent the pattern out free. She's got some lovely tips for doing things, but one of her lines that I really like is, sometimes when you make it, the bits don't quite join up. For example, the end of the sleeves might not be the same. You can see we've got our little step here, and in fact these two bits aren't joining up either. And she says, you know, don't be afraid just to trim them to size. So I'm going to quote her on that one, and thank her for the scrubs pattern publicly. And so this is where, if you want to even that up with scissors and just take that to the same, make a straight line there, you can. Personally, I'd leave that on the bottom for now, but we can even it up when we get there. So I'm going to sew this seam, and then I'm going to do the same to the other side. So seams are all sewn. I've evened off the bottom so that they're the same length where that step was, and now we're going to do possibly the longest hem of, well, certainly of my sewing career. So here is the neck. The neck is the rounded piece. Remember, you've got two backs for the neck, but there it is. So you find the rounded neck, and then find the beginning of the loose shoulder sleeve, shoulder seam. That's where we're going to start the hem. It's going to go all the way down there, then down the long side to the bottom, all the way along the bottom, up the other long side of the other back piece, which is here, and then finally the little short shoulder seam there. So you've got a number of corners to do here. You can of course do each one separately, mite the corners if you feel that that's something you want to do, and we've got any number of ways of doing this. I know some people like to do one fold. You might want to come in closer for this, Danica. Some people like to do a single fold like that and sew it, and then do the second fold like that. Pressing it with a double fold is also another way of doing it, but whichever way you do it, we're ending up hopefully with a double fold like that to make the hem, hoping you can see that, and then sewn along here. There's my pin, there's the first pin in for you to show there. So one long hem later, I shall see you in a minute. And now we have a red and white checked one. So you've done it, you've completed it, well done. Feel free to make as many as you possibly can up to this stage. I'm going to have a pile of them waiting for when we have the bias binding, elastic and Velcro and things coming. Very quickly, I'm just going to show you where this hem started and finished, or I'm going to stand here and Danica's hopefully going to put her finger in and show you where we went with the hem, the long hem. So along the shoulder seam there to the first corner, then I'll hold that, nearly, then down to the floor there, and all the way around, all the way around, all the way around the front, all the way around to flip open the back again, up the other side of the back, and down to the shoulder and stop, and then you should be able to see where the raw edge is for the neck casing. Good luck with your sewing. And let's see if we can make as many, I can turn around and face camera again, see if we can make the number that we've been asked for, and help the dentists. So thank you very much.